Fertilization in humans is a complex and finely coordinated biological process that marks the beginning of new life. You are welcome to Healthy Lifestyle Channel. It begins with ovulation, when a mature egg is released from one of the ovaries and captured by the fimbriae of the fallopian tube. The egg, or ovum, is a large spherical cell surrounded by protective layers, including the zona pellucida and a cluster of cells called the corona radiata. Once released, the egg begins its slow journey through the fallopian tube toward the uterus, propelled by gentle muscular contractions and tiny cilia that line the tube. It remains viable for about 24 hours, waiting for sperm that may have already entered the female reproductive tract through sexual intercourse. When ejaculation occurs during intercourse, millions of sperm are deposited in the vagina near the cervix. The journey of these sperm toward the egg is extremely demanding, and only a small fraction will reach the fallopian tube. The acidic environment of the vagina destroys many sperm, but those that survive enter the cervical mucus, which becomes thinner and more receptive under the influence of estrogen around ovulation. From there, the sperm swim through the cervix, pass into the uterus, and eventually enter the fallopian tubes. This journey is aided by rhythmic contractions of the uterus and cilia within the tubes, though only a few hundred sperm typically make it to the site of the egg. Once the sperm reach the fallopian tube, they must undergo a biochemical process known as capacitation. This process takes several hours and involves changes to the sperm's membrane, increasing its motility and preparing it to penetrate the egg's protective barriers. Capacitation also exposes receptors on the sperm head that allow it to recognize and bind to the zona pellucida of the egg. At this point, the sperm are hyperactivated, swimming more vigorously in an effort to reach and attach to the egg's outer layer. Although many sperm may surround the egg, only one will ultimately succeed in fertilizing it. When a sperm binds to the zona pellucida, it triggers the acrosome reaction, in which enzymes are released from a cap-like structure at the head of the sperm called the acrosome. These enzymes digest a path through the zona pellucida, allowing the sperm to move closer to the egg's plasma membrane. Upon successful penetration, the sperm's head and tail enter the egg's cytoplasm, while the plasma membranes of the two cells fuse. This moment marks the actual event of fertilization, as the genetic material from the sperm and egg come into close contact for the first time. The egg then immediately initiates mechanisms to prevent additional sperm from entering, a critical step known as the cortical reaction. The cortical reaction involves the release of cortical granules from the egg's membrane which chemically alter the zona pellucida, making it impenetrable to other sperm. This ensures that only a single sperm's genetic material contributes to the zygote, maintaining the correct number of chromosomes. Once this block to polyspermy is established, the egg completes its second meiotic division, which had been paused since ovulation. It expels a small polar body, leaving a haploid nucleus with 23 chromosomes ready to merge with the sperm's haploid nucleus. The male and female pronuclei, each containing 23 chromosomes, then migrate toward one another within the egg's cytoplasm. The nuclear membranes dissolve, and the chromosomes align on a shared spindle apparatus, combining to form a single diploid nucleus with 46 chromosomes. This new cell is called a zygote, the first cell of a new human being. The zygote now contains all the genetic information necessary to determine every inherited trait, from eye color to blood type. At this moment, conception is complete, and a new, genetically unique human life has begun. Following fertilization, the zygote begins its journey down the fallopian tube toward the uterus while undergoing a series of rapid cell divisions known as cleavage. Within a few days, it becomes a multicellular structure called a blastocyst, ready to implant into the uterine lining. If implantation is successful, the developing embryo will continue to grow, supported by the maternal environment, eventually forming the placenta and the structures necessary for fetal development. From a single egg and a single sperm, the fertilization process thus sets in motion the remarkable chain of biological events that lead to the birth of one baby, highlighting the precision and wonder of human reproduction. Thank you so much for viewing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Bye.